You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio. FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle is right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't assume all was good in Grizzland after an encouraging draft, the contract extensions of Jaren Jackson Jr., Santi Aldama, Cam Spencer, and the signing of Ty Jerome, because at Grizzlies PR got busy again last night. Oh, I knew it was going to be bad as soon as I seen it pop up. Bad news again. Depression even. We'll talk about it momentarily. It's a toe issue. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, I'm going to be joined by Chris Vernon. He's the host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon, Grind City Media. He's going to come in here. I'm going to talk to him about Jaren Jackson Jr.'s toe and get his thoughts on the Diddy verdict.
Oh, good.
Breaking news this morning. Diddy has been found guilty of some charges, not guilty of the most serious charges. He is facing up to 10 years in prison. Chris Vernon will provide expert analysis. We're going to do that in about 20 minutes. When I finish talking to Vernon, we're going to take a break. Come back, do 5 more things you need to know. At which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, scary scene at the WNBA's Commissioner Cup final last night in downtown Minneapolis. Red Panda fell off of her unicycle and could not complete her performance. Appeared to suffer some sort of wrist injury. It's not the first time. We're going to show it to you. We're going to do it in about 40 minutes. In less important news, obviously, the Indiana Fever, without Caitlin Clark, did win the WNBA's Commissioner Cup. It was an upset at the Target Center. We're going to spend some time on that a little later on in the show. Jurassic World Rebirth is now in theaters. It's a summer blockbuster. We're going to get excited about it. We're going to do that later on in the show. The Detroit News has published an interesting story on the financial issues facing Malik Beasley. Sounds like he was really struggling, perhaps in a way that led to him manipulating games in a way that has led to a federal investigation. I'll update you on that situation. We're going to do that in the second hour. And Paul Finebaum He said Arch Manning is going to be the best college football quarterback we've seen. He said this yesterday. Since Tim Tebow entered the scene in 2006. Must have forgotten about Cam Newton at Auburn, Joe Burrow at LSU, or that Arch Manning, great as he might be, was benched behind a 7th-round draft pick last season. That's interesting. I'm going to get Bennett's thoughts on all this hyperbole. We're going to do it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we're going to eventually do GP's carryout, and then we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with at Grizzlies PR.
Oh.
Man, are you kidding me?
I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it. I can't believe it.
There's nothing more believable than bad news from at Grizzlies PR.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, there's nothing more believable than bad news from at Grizzlies PR. I want to be clear, I'm not blaming at Grizzlies PR. They're the messenger.
They're just, don't shoot the messenger.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Right. That's what they say.
That is what they say.
Yeah.
Do you think we started saying that because there was a spree of messenger shootings or something? Did we go through a phase where messengers were getting shot? Did we go through a phase?
I used to know what this meant.
Did we go through a phase where messengers were getting shot and somebody decided, you know what, it's time. I'm going to stand up.
Please.
I'm going to stand up and say, we got to stop shooting the messenger. Because too many messengers are out there getting shot. At Grizzlies PR, at its core, it's just a messenger. I know that. You know that. But still, I mean, my God. Got to be the worst Twitter account that exists. Is there a worse Twitter account?
I mean, locally, I'm not sure.
Sometimes, Memphis Flyer, does the Memphis Flyer still do like Best of Memphis and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So they used to do a thing
like an appearance every now and again. I keep up. I keep up. Don't you worry.
Do you keep up?
Yeah.
Do you genuinely know if we exist in the Memphis Flyer?
We did. I think we did last year.
For what?
Best radio show. I'm almost positive.
They don't even know. They don't even know we left radio.
I was like,
they don't even
close
know.
enough.
They don't even know.
Whatever.
They don't even know we're gone.
I love it.
They don't even know we're gone.
Thank you. I love the Memphis Flyer, and I read it every single month. I always pick up the Flyer.
Well, it's a weekly thing, I think.
I thought it was a monthly thing.
Well, it certainly used to be a weekly thing. Is it now a monthly thing?
Either way, I always grab the Flyer. Love the Flyer.
We always love the Flyer. Buddy, if I'm in Memphis Pizza Cafe, I'm going to grab the Memphis Flyer.
I'm grabbing the Flyer,
I'm going to grab the Memphis Flyer. All right? So they used to have in the Memphis Flyer, I know this. This is something I do know. They would have like best Twitter account, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't think they ever had worst Twitter account. But if they did, I have a nomination. At Grizzlies PR. Just the messenger. I understand.
I know,
We're not going to shoot the messenger.
By the way, there is not I don't think we really know where this came from. There's some people that think they know, but this one guy that's like a historian said that he said that drummers were valued by military leaders as messengers, but it's something about the drummers, like. You know, remember when...
We have drummers in the military.
No, remember I
thought we had drummers in Foo Fighters.
No, but remember during the Civil War and
Rest in peace.
And they'd and the troops would be walking up and they'd have the drummer
I wasn't around during the Civil War.
But you've seen
that. Don't blame me for that. I don't need that on my shoulders.
Apparently you weren't supposed to kill the drummers. They were like that's what this guy says.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you want to, if the premise of this is we shouldn't kill drummers, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I'll co-sign that 7 days a week. All right.
Yeah, this is on a Reddit thread, by the way. So just take that for what you will.
Take it for what it's worth, which is probably nothing. Worst Twitter account. I know it's just a messenger, but at Grizzlies PR, buddy. When I swear to God, I'm telling you the truth. I am sitting last night. I happened to have my computer open. Mm-hmm. It pops up.
I knew instantly.
I swear to God.
Because it's at nighttime. I knew instantly. I didn't have to look at it. I saw the notification. I was like, oh my God.
I didn't. I took a breath. I paused. And I was like, you know what? My day is going okay, relatively speaking. You know? My dog's not running around the neighborhood. My kids don't need stitches. Everything is kind of going okay today, relatively speaking. Not telling you I had the best day anybody had. Just telling you it was okay. And then this pops up on my computer screen, and I swear to God, this went into my head. I can look at this right now and get sad, or I can just not look at it for a couple minutes and just continue to be in the state that I was in before I saw that. And I took like 90 seconds, and I was just like, I'm just going to keep enjoying this day. I did all that stuff. I'm just going to keep enjoying this day. Things are okay. Not perfect, but okay. I'm just going to keep enjoying this day. And then finally I hit it. It came across at 7:36 p.m. I don't think I hit it to 7:38. I saw it at 7:36. I don't think I hit it till 7:38. I was like, I'm going to put this off as long as I reasonably can. And for me, it was about 90 seconds to 2 minutes, somewhere in there. But then I opened it and Jesus Christ. Here's what it said. While participating in a live basketball run off-site, Jaren Jackson Jr. sustained a turf toe injury in his right foot, which upon expert evaluation yesterday was determined to require a procedure to repair. An update and preliminary timeline will be provided following the procedure, but Jaren Jackson Jr. is expected to make a full recovery. I knew it was going to be bad. It's always bad. I have never opened that Grizzlies PR and it was just like, happy birthday, you know?
No, I mean, dude.
Merry Christmas.
In fairness, they like posted all the stuff about the great moves that we made at the beginning of free agency. Like, that was nice.
I just wish they would post something that would make me smile.
It did. They made me smile earlier this week.
No, but Shams made you smile earlier this week.
But then Grizzlies PR put it out and I got to read the whole press release and everything.
Shams made you smile. And then Grizzlies PR just like came and went.
All right.
Shams made you smile. You smiled at Shams' tweets. You didn't smile at Grizzlies PR.
Okay.
Yesterday, Shams didn't depress you. At Grizzlies PR did, just like always. Just like always. What are we going to do? Why does this always happen to us?
That is a loaded question. I do not know.
Why does this always happen?
I do not know.
Why is it? Look at you. How old are you right now?
I'm 38 years old.
Okay, I'm 48 years old. So you combine us. What do we got? Like 86 years. 10 toes. I got 10, you got 10. That's 20.
Yeah.
You got 10 toes, right?
Yes.
I've never asked you about your toes, but you have 10. I assume you have 10.
So, yeah.
I assume you have 10.
Yes.
I have 10. We have 20 between us. We have 86 years and 20 toes between us. How are we doing better than Jaren Jackson Jr.? Does that make any sense whatsoever?
I think those 7-footer toes probably, they may be more susceptible to injury.
I guess so.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I just find it troubling. Just disappointing.
It sucks. It sucked.
I mean,
yeah.
I was just starting to get happy, you know?
Yeah.
I was just starting to get happy. And now Jaren Jackson Jr., not only turf toe, but turf toe that requires surgery. Not all turf toes require surgery. By the way, do you understand? This is the starting front court now. Zach Edey had a sprained ankle.
They required surgery.
Sprained ankles don't usually require surgery, but it does. All right? And let me be clear, I'm not questioning anybody. I'm just like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It just sucks, yeah.
Sprained ankle, you're supposed to put ice on it.
Right.
Or whatever. It's just not supposed, you're not supposed to get anesthesia for it.
Right.
All right? Turf toe, you're not supposed to have to get anesthesia. Why do we have to always get anesthesia?
I don't know.
That's my question for you. Why are we always on anesthesia around here? Why is everybody on anesthesia around here?
I don't have any answers for you.
Our starting front court is a center with an ankle sprain that requires surgery and a power forward with a turf toe that requires surgery literally one day after he agreed in principle to a $240 million contract that I've seen some people question the timeline.
No, stop. I don't like any of that.
It's just stupid. It's just stupid. I don't mean to use that word. I've tried to stop that.
Yeah, I got it.
Since I left radio, even if people at the Memphis Flyer don't realize that I did. I've tried to stop using the word stupid. I realize I didn't realize this when I was younger, but I realize it just doesn't play the way you want it to play. I don't want my kids saying it, so I try not to say it anymore. But it is stupid, if you'll forgive me, to like get all caught up on the timeline of these things. the Grizzlies weren't clear with it. I don't think it's been reported as a clear, like, and this is when it happened, and this is what happened, and then the contract was. But, like, none of this matters for the contract. It just doesn't have anything to do with it. He was always going to be offered this contract, and he was always going to agree to this contract, and it did not matter whether he had a turf toe injury that required surgery or not.
Right.
You know, if he had a gunshot wound to the head, it would impact the contract situation. That's not this. It's a turf toe. It sucks.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be anything that impacts whether the Grizzlies offer a contract or whether he accepts a contract. I do not believe.
I don't either, yeah.
If you do care, like, so when did this happen? Well, we don't know, but did it happen before the contract extension was announced? Yeah, it seems clear that it did. All right. When they leaked to Shams that Jaren, or somebody leaked to Shams, that Jaren was agreeing to a $240 million contract extension, the Grizzlies front office, it appears, knew that he had a turf toe injury that was going to require surgery. How do I know that? Because in the release at Grizzlies PR yesterday, it said that he was evaluated yesterday. That means he was evaluated Monday. If we're just doing normal business hours, he was probably evaluated in normal business hours. That's 9 to 5. The contract extension was not announced till after 5. This injury was suffered, yes, before the contract extension was announced, it appears. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You were always going to do this. He was always going to accept this. It's just an unfortunate thing that happened while all of this other stuff was happening. As for a timeline, it's unclear. At Grizzlies PR says it will be updated, the timeline, after the procedure is completed. But there's a fellow named Jeff Stotts. You know Jeff Stotts? Mm-hmm. He's on Twitter at InStreetClothes. Creative Twitter name.
That is pretty good.
At InStreetClothes. He describes himself as an injury analyst, which is I guess a neat job, injury analyst. Mm-hmm. He is a certified athletic trainer, blah, blah, blah. Here's what he posted last night. The term turf toe is used to describe a sprain of the MT joint of the big toe. Surgery is often needed when the plantar plate ruptures. Others to suffer a similar injury include Blake Griffin and Miles Turner. Average lost time for NBA cases that needed surgery is about 3 months. Most seem to believe that this will trickle into the regular season, but not deep into the regular season. But on opening night, the Grizzlies will probably have a starting lineup that is at least missing 40% of the projected starters. That 40%, of course, being Jaren Jackson Jr. and Zach Edey. It just stinks. It just stinks. It's not
it does.
Devastating as it could be, I guess, but it's just, after going through the downward spiral that the franchise went through last season, and then having it end with a sweep of Oklahoma City and Ja Morant injured, and then you blow up the core, or at least rearrange it, and set your sights on the future, and seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Who knows if any of this stuff will work, but it all makes sense on paper. It all is something you can get excited about. The first round of the draft was last Wednesday. We talked on Thursday. We were excited.
Yes.
On Thursday, they made 2 more picks. On Friday, we were excited. We went through the weekend. We were excited. On Monday, we woke up. We didn't know exactly what to expect. We did a show. By Monday night, we were excited. Jaren, new deal done. Santi, back. Cam Spencer to the main roster. Ty Jerome. Wow. For only $28 million? Who knew that was possible? We were excited. And then it just, nothing lasts.
No, that's true. I mean, one thing, because I do see, there is obviously people do tend to get negative with these things, which I can understand. I'm not telling anybody that this stuff keeps happening.
It sucks.
It sucks.
I just don't know whose fault. Do you if you want to be mad and start pointing fingers, let's just run through who you're going to point fingers at. Do you want Jaren not playing basketball in the offseason?
I want him practice. Yeah, I want him getting ready for the season.
I mean, what do you want? I know. On a very basic level, Here's a guy who is in his offseason, and what do we know for sure he was doing? Playing basketball.
Yeah,
do you want your basketball players not playing basketball? No. Okay, so who are you mad at? It just sucks. But there's nobody to yell at. Unless you want to shoot messengers, there's nobody to yell at.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
Yeah, it does. But as far as the season goes, I mean, listen, they have had success. They were the 2 seed, and Jaren missed the beginning. Was it last year he missed the beginning of the season? I think that's true. Yeah, with the hamstring.
Yeah.
So, they can get by. They're going to have to get creative.
Was that 2 seasons ago, maybe?
It might have been, but the front court is decimated right now. We know that because your 2 starters are likely.
Oh, and keep in mind, even before this was announced yesterday, people were like,
we need to get a big. So now that becomes even more pressing. The good thing
especially considering you have a full roster right now.
Yeah, they were going to likely have to get a big anyway. So this just elevates that. I was talking a lot to Roser about it before the show. I would consider bringing back Marvin Bagley. I would, because I think you could get him at a vet minimum. There's continuity there. I think that seems like a starting point to me. Because I think you're gonna you go look at the free agency pool for bigs.
There's nothing.
There's nothing there.
I mean, there's something there, but
yeah.
it's nothing that you're gonna get excited about.
It's likely gonna have to be in a trade. If you're going to do something that is a splash at all.
I will say this. There's a lot of different options, a lot of different paths to go down, which would always be the case. But I assume you have a draft Wednesday night, you have a draft Thursday night, you get most of your big work done in free agency done on Monday, and you think, for the most part, every conversation you need to have has been had. We know what we're doing. Now you got to just have a bunch of new conversations. Mm-hmm. You just got to have a bunch of new conversations. How deep in the season, if it runs into it, is it going to run? Are we talking about 5 games, 10 games, 15 games, 20 games? It's got to be on the lower side of that based on all of the information available, but we don't know. So let's try to figure that out. Where's Brandon Clark at in his recovery?
Yeah, that's an important question too.
Yeah.
Is he full go to start the season? Because that's very important.
Yeah, you got to have a bunch of conversations that you didn't think you were going to have, say, maybe not this time yesterday, because I think you're probably having these conversations this time yesterday.
Sure.
And probably this time 2 days ago, if we care about the timeline. But a week ago, you probably weren't having, 2 weeks ago, you probably weren't having these types of conversations. And now you got to have all new conversations. It stinks. It stinks. It's not a torn Achilles. Other franchises are dealing with that. Let's try to focus on the good instead of the bad. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean it's not bad. Doesn't mean it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's not disappointing. At Grizzlies PR, you know I like you deep down. We have a bond.
Yes.
But you got to stop hurting me. Yeah. If every time I come to you, you make me feel bad. I took 90 seconds to open it. I used to just open them the way I do everything else.
I got the notification set. I'm ready for it. Yeah.
You raw dog it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I just let it happen.
I can't do it.
Yeah. I just let it happen.
I used to. Now I'm trying to protect myself.
Gotcha.
It's
probably smart.
Trying to protect my peace, I used to just see Grizzlies. I'd be like, oh, Grizzlies PR. I wonder what they're saying. And I'd be like, oh, pain. Mm-hmm. Hurt. Depression. At some point, I just stopped opening it. I was like, I don't want to open this anymore. I know what it's going to give me. I know what's coming. I'll put it off. I mean, it's my job. At some point, I got to open it.
Yeah.
But I put it off for a good 90 seconds. I had 90 seconds more of peace yesterday than I otherwise would have. I'm learning. Better late than never. Chris Vernon, join me next.
Murray State is going to the College World Series. It's easy for me to pick a team because 1, I love an underdog. 2, I hate UCLA, and I see that opening round matchup. And 3, we are connected to the school's most famous alumni. Ja Morant of Murray State.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Are you ready?
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
These are the Jordan 1, the crystals. These are the shoe that retails for $1,000. Oh, extra crystals. So if your crystals fall off, if your crystals fall off, actually these are the black crystals because they have. So the shoe has black crystals on there as well too. So you get an extra package of black crystals.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Chris Vernon is the host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon. Grind City Media joins me on Wednesdays. Today's Wednesday. He's right here.
Here I am.
Man, how you toe feeling today?
Man, my toes feel great.
Between all of us, we got about 100. We got more than 100 years and like 30 toes, and it just doesn't make sense.
I heard you guys talking about don't kill the messenger, and so of course I had to go look it up. Because I knew he'd be wrong. Like dates back to like the 1500s.
Ben always looks things up and then is somehow wrong about it.
It's like Socrates. And
well, there was no like,
and then it like shouts out William Shakespeare, Henry IV, and like people would get killed for delivering bad news and whatever. But I mean, I looked that up on Grok and probably polluted South Memphis. So sorry, sorry. I'm sorry.
I do.
It's just one question. Surely the pollution from the one question is not that bad. You know they jump on Roser. Roser got bullied out to stop making Grok
Is that why he stopped?
Yes.
Roser.
He got bullied.
I'm going to do it. I do it.
He got bullied.
I ask Grok questions all the time.
He got bullied.
I'm not going to be bullied by that.
Yeah, he got
bullied.
bullied.
I'm not the problem.
Yeah,
or at least I'm not the solution. I'm not the solution. Me not Googling stuff or asking questions on the internet is not the solution to anything.
I mean,
I don't believe that.
I don't know. Just go over and apologize.
I do hate.
There's one question.
I do hate where the internet is going, but I do kind of like
that you can get the answer to anything
whenever I want it immediately.
Yeah,
I mean, Bennett still struggles with this, obviously.
I mean,
but I'm pretty good at finding out stuff.
It's 2025, man.
I can.
Yeah.
There's
actually, and it's not going to be long until there's just. Bennett is replaced by a robot that just tells us. You know what I mean?
You can't replace this.
Yeah, for sure you can.
I'm going to get a robot, put a beard on it, and we're done.
Yes.
I'm going to be sitting here across from a bearded robot in 3 years.
BD 3000. We'll be like, BD 3000, where does Don't Kill the Messenger come from? He'll be like, it comes from Socrates.
It is concerning.
Thanks, BD.
Yeah.
But I found this like last night, I was genuinely just wondering things, for like preparing for something else.
Yep.
And I was just like, when did something happen? And you just find this stuff out Instantly. You never have to wonder about anything anymore.
Yeah.
Unless you're Bennett. But the rest of us never have to wonder about anything anymore.
Dude, I was trying to do it on my phone. All right, golly.
He's gonna be, hey, you know what? You need to fire back at him one day. Just let it all go. Be like, your ass would be mad at me if I wasn't making constant eye contact with you.
That's so true. I know. That's the thing. Yeah, there we go.
If
Let it
I
out.
wasn't making constant eye contact with you and then like acting like I gave a crap about what you were saying, you'd be mad at me.
Yeah, hey, look that up, but do it in 30 seconds and make sure to make eye contact with me after I finish my point.
I need you to look it up.
I want to drive away.
I need you to look it up, but I need you to maintain eye contact while I'm talking about Juan Soto for 12 minutes. I need you to act like you care about Juan Soto for 12 minutes, but also look up Kill a Messenger, but never break eye contact.
It's better than my guy for 20 years. Roser's been looking at me and not listening. Just looks at me.
Roser has
just thinking about jelly beans.
Like a married couple.
Yes.
Like you can just sit there and you're just
I
like.
can see him glaze over, and I'm like, oh hell, lost him.
I know he's looking at me, but he doesn't hear anything I'm saying right now.
No,
nothing.
Because every once in a while I'll say right, and he'll be like,
yeah.
I'll be like, you didn't hear a damn word I said, did you? I said, what are you thinking about?
What are you doing?
What are you? He's like, I don't know.
I've actually had this thought before, whether it's about Bennett or Kyra. Anyway, I'm like, they have no choice but to sit here and listen to me.
That's right.
Other people can just like go do something else.
That's right.
But like poor Kyra is like it's her job to just sit here and listen to this bullshit all day long.
All day.
That's insane.
Trust me.
To me.
She drinks by 11 o'clock. She goes home, pours her glass of wine. She's like, the hell with this.
Like everybody else could just like clock out and be like, yo, man, this is stupid.
She goes home and talks about how hard her day was.
Yeah. Like, why do I care?
You wouldn't believe this.
Why do I care what this old guy thinks about Tom Brady and Sidney Sweeney? Shut up.
It's so draining. Oh, my God.
It really is. It really is. I can't wait till I get a robot in here, man. That robot's going to look at me.
So here's the deal, man. Why can't we just have a nice summer night?
God, Jesus.
Why?
Jesus.
Why? I wasn't even doing anything. I'm not kidding. I was watching Bob Does Sports Golf videos.
Mm-hmm. I was watching.
That's what I was doing.
I was
on
watching
YouTube,
the Poop Cruise.
And then it like came up an alert. You watched Poop Cruise?
I watched it.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine. It's just fine. It's nothing more than fine.
It's something you can like turn on and play on your phone.
That's exactly right.
So I saw there was this deal. I saw this guy. Of course, you see everything, on videos. And I was scrolling through, and this guy counted down. I was like, man, this guy has all the time. He was like, my top 25 top 10 shows that have come out in 2025. And I was like, the top 10 shows that have come out in 20. I was like, that's unbelievable. Like, that's how much TV comes out, right? And you just miss it. So anyways, he had number one. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. And don't spoil it for me. But what? What do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know.
Oh,
Severance?
No, it's on Netflix.
Ginny and Georgia.
It was called Adolescence.
I don't know Adolescence.
And it's only 4 episodes. And I went and looked it up, and like somebody called it the best TV ever, blah blah blah, whatever. I don't know. It's about this like kid that gets accused of a murder, like a child, like a adolescent that gets accused, and it's like evidently like 4 episodes. And so I pulled it up. I watched the trailer, and I'm like, oh boy. And then I was like, you know what, man. This feels too heavy for tonight because I'm going to get involved and then it's going to be heavy. And so then I ended up just watching that golf video. and then the news comes in about Jaren. I'm like, damn it, I should have just watched Adolescence if the night was going to suck anyway.
The night's going to suck anyway. Just watch Adolescence.
Yeah. I don't know. The guy had it number 1, and I never even heard anybody talk about it.
I've literally never heard that before.
It's on Netflix.
I'm going to watch it tonight.
I know.
Okay.
4 episodes, and I don't know. The guy had it as number 1, and I was like, I never even heard anybody mention this.
All right, I'm in it.
Because a lot of the other stuff I had heard people mention.
I just been sitting around watching the Poop Cruise.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Adolescence
was
an option.
You did watch that. I can't watch that.
It's not great. It's just
all those train wrecks. You know what? They're putting out too much of those.
There's too many train wrecks.
Yeah, the train wrecks and the sports ones. The one that's
guns.
about Javaris Crittenden and the Untolds.
Untolds.
Well, so the Untolds. The problem is with those, they're getting all of the people that did wrong to tell their story on that. HBO's doing this now recently, where they've got the Sherry Papini documentary. I watched that. She's the real-life Gone Girl, and it's all her.
Right.
And the Karen Reed one, and it's all her side of the story. So
did you watch the Karen Reed one?
Now, yeah.
What do you think?
I can't get past the Google search. I can't get past it.
The explanation for the Google search.
I don't care.
You don't care, okay.
That's a ridiculous explanation.
It is
to me.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. She Googled at 2:20, how long does it take for a body to die in the cold?
No, the explanation is that the tab she pulled up on her phone, she had pulled up at whatever time you're referencing.
2:20.
Okay.
AM.
But the search wasn't actually executed until Karen Reed was reaching out to her and saying, I don't know where he is.
I think that's ridiculous.
Okay, but
I think she searched it at 2:20.
Okay. Well, then I can't get past that if you just believe
that's
that.
what I believe.
But the prosecution had an explanation for that. Whether you buy it or not,
it's ridiculous.
But that is the explanation.
And I think that's ridiculous.
Do you think that is more or less ridiculous than this man is at a bar? He is, I apologize, I didn't mean to go down this path. Man's at a bar. They're going to take
You think she did it?
I think she accidentally killed him, yes.
Hit him with her car?
Yeah.
That hard?
It is the only...
How do you get all those scratches on your arm?
I don't know any of that.
Yeah, there's just a lot of it. I mean, again, this is why
this is reasonable doubt.
It tore a whole thing apart.
I understand the verdict.
Yeah.
I completely understand how she was found not guilty. I'm just saying, take that, set it aside. How did this man die? Mm-hmm. The most obvious explanation for me, the only plausible explanation, is that she accidentally hit him with the car, because the alternative explanation is he's at a bar, everybody's hanging out, everybody's cool, he's with his friends, they take it back to the house, and then they just beat the shit out of him, kill him, and throw him out in the...
I would think somebody got in a fight. Somebody got in a fight in the house.
And then just
it
dumped
went wrong,
him
yes.
in the
and
front
then threw
yard.
him outside, yes.
It just doesn't, there's no...
And then all
you
of
realize there's no evidence to support that at all.
But
nothing. It's just a story.
How did he get all these scratches and everything on his arm?
How?
I
don't know.
Right.
Okay, but like...
So something happened in the house.
But you are unwilling. This is the part. I understand the verdict. I said that.
Yeah.
You're unwilling to accept... You're confused by like scratches and all this stuff.
How hard would she have had to hit him in the car?
I mean,
And you think it was on accident?
I think it was probably accidental.
Come on.
I think she knows she did it.
Do you know how hard you would have to hit somebody in a car?
I don't know how hard you would have to hit somebody in a car.
A lot harder than backing out. She gunned it?
She did gun it.
And slammed it into him?
It went 0 to like an excessive speed very quickly, yes.
There's only an amount it can go into. I mean,
but it went to where it could she was going fast enough where you could hurt somebody, kill them. Yes.
I don't know.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You're asking all reasonable questions. How did he get these scratches? I don't have answers for these.
Right.
But you don't have answers for how did he die inside that house? You don't have any answers for that.
Right.
I understand the reasonable doubt. I just think the most obvious explanation is she accidentally killed this guy. Whatever. I can't believe we're talking about this.
Well,
again.
and they did a lot of covering up.
Oh, yeah. The investigation was flawed.
The people did a lot of covering up.
They did a lot of things.
Talking about throwing their phones away. I mean, like they knew something's wrong. Something's off.
But trust me, at this point, I've read everything there is to read.
It was on the up and up. You know what I mean? And that's really, this is some horrible tragedy, an accident, whatever. It's like they were trying to cover themselves for some reason.
The explanation for that, or at least one submitted, would be, yeah, they possibly got rid of phone stuff, but to assume that it's strictly because of these are cops, these are adults. Like, I bet you have stuff in your phone. I'm not trying to put it on you, but like I bet most people have stuff in their phone. You just rather not people. You don't want people seeing. Right. And that would be the explanation for that. They weren't trying to cover up a murder as much as they don't want this other stuff in their phone being publicly known.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe so. Anyway, they have on HBO, they got the Karen Reed thing, they got the Sherry Papini thing, they got all those, and then these Untolds, they basically get everybody that they're about to report on, whether it's the Michigan guy that stole all the signs or it's DeVaris Crittenden or whoever, to tell their story, and it almost like tries to humanize them or whatever Yeah, and like the only one they couldn't get to be cooperative was obviously like Brett Favre, and then it's just an hour and a half of Brett Favre is a piece of crap.
Right.
Did you watch it? Oh my God, it is terrible.
I heard that one was so bad.
No, it's terrible.
That I just decided not to watch it.
It's like Jamel Hill, like on there talking about Brett Favre, talking about how heroes aren't like what you think that. It's like, bro, nobody is still hero worshiping. Like we all know
Right.
that he's like and it's like Jen Sturger on there, like he ruined my life, and it's like, good grief.
Right.
Like the rest of these Untolds are all like trying to make somebody. Even the Florida one, horrible.
I liked the McNair one. Okay.
The Florida one was terrible because they got Urban Meyer and those guys to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got them all to
The
cooperate.
McNair one, I remember being okay.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
But the McNair podcast was really good.
That was better
That
because it was
SI did
a little more informative.
was
yeah.
terrific. Anyway, we all got stuff to watch. Let's get back to Jaren Jackson Jr. It's just unfortunate. He was just playing basketball in the offseason, which is what you want your basketball players doing. And
the only thing that saved me was last night, my buddy Jeff Stotts, who I've become friends with over the years in street clothes, he's the guy that he has the database. So I always pay attention to him in great detail when it comes to, he's the one that I reached out to when Edie got hurt. I've reached out to him about every injury because he's not only does he understand what the injuries are, he also keeps a database that has all of the different injuries that have taken place. And so when he put out that the typical recovery time was 3 months for these other guys, Blake Griffin and others that have gotten this done, that made, because of course I'm doing the math in my head. And I'm like, you know what? We don't start until the end of October. It's July 1st. Right? So, if the recovery time is 3 months, and he said average return to play.
Right.
If it is, because the first thing, of course, I did what every other Grizzly fan does, which is like turf toe surgery, how long, and you read like maybe up to 6 months, you're like, oh my God. Then he's got a database that says, hey, here's what's happened with these different injuries. And so, we may end up where he's able to come back. 3 months from now is October 1st, and the season starts at the end of October. So that made me feel much, 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 much better.
But if you were betting, you would...
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do I know?
Right.
I never... Bane got it done, right? I think Bane ended up... Didn't Bane end up getting the surgery?
Yeah.
He did last year.
Yeah.
Right? After he had played through it. And so, I'm hopeful. After I read that, I got much more hopeful because I was thinking, oh, God, are we going to get to this, 6 months is January.
Right.
That's a huge difference.
Like you, the first thing I saw was 3 to 6 months. And then Stott said...
And then Brian Windhorst, who doesn't know anything.
Right.
He doesn't know anything. Like Jeff Stotts has a database where it's like, here are other NBA players, and the good thing was it was big guys.
Right.
Here's other NBA players that have gotten this done, and here was the typical return to play.
Would this news change the way you address the roster at all?
No. Not if that's the case.
Right.
Again, all I can go off is a guy that's got a database that says, here's what it is. Right. And even if it was 4 months, you're not changing your roster because of that. They're not changing their roster because of this. They're changing their roster because they have to have more big guys. In the absence of Zach Edey, you don't have enough big guys. That's the other thing that you've got to maneuver with because, you've got Jaren Jackson Jr., Santi Aldama, Jay Huff, and Zach Edey. That's for sure not going to be your big man rotation going into next year.
If you were predicting, what is the mechanism they use to adjust the roster in the form of a big man?
Trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing. You have trades and you have trade exceptions, right? So, if you have, I think people were sitting there, as was I, sitting there going the other night, like, how the hell do they trade for Clint Capella? Well, the way they trade for Clint Capella is because you've got these trade exceptions that you've attained in the past. And so the Grizzlies have a trade exception still from the Zaire Williams deal, which is like $6 million. They have one from the Marcus Smart deal, which is over $7 million, right? So, you can trade John Conchar and a $7 million, into a trade with the trade exception, and now all of a sudden you're getting a $14 million player. Right. I'm just saying that is a mode of operation to be able to do it. I do not think they are. I don't want to say anywhere close, but I certainly don't think they're done remaking this roster in the summer. I think this stuff's going to flesh itself out. Free agency is going to flesh itself out. And then you're going to look at your roster and you're going to see what you're able to do. But there's no way especially with Zaidi down, they've got to have more big guys than what they've got right now. I mean, they have Jay Huff, Santi Aldama, and Jaren Jackson Jr., and Jaren Jackson Jr. is a question mark.
Right.
So it's untenable. Like, you have to.
I think I know your answer to this, but I'll ask you just to get it on the record. People immediately, because it's the easy thing to do. On Monday, you sign a $240 million contract, or at least agree to it. Mm-hmm. On Tuesday, it's announced you're having turf toe surgery.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
None.
Right.
None. Would that have been treated any differently?
No.
Again, especially if they know more than you do
right.
in terms of how long this is going to take. And what if he's back for the beginning of the season?
Right. Or what if he's not? My point is, it doesn't change the contract.
No.
Like, you can say
it would change it if he tore his Achilles.
Maybe.
For sure. Come on. They just stretched Damian Lillard, for God's sake.
He's also 35 years old.
I got it, but they're going to pay him for 5 years. That's insane.
Let's stop here for a second.
5 years?
Because I read,
somebody's going to look up in 5 years and be like, what did we do?
Literally a quote from an NBA front office executive given to The Athletic, I guess, was they're going to look up in 2 years and say, what did we do?
So here's the thing. I've been thinking about this a lot because John Horst, who is the GM of Milwaukee, before all the Giannis stuff started to come out hot and heavy, he signed a contract extension there. That was a big story, right? John Horst has signed a contract extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. And I remember at the time saying, when you lock yourself up, now if you did want to trade Giannis, at least all right, they're with me for a rebuild, right? Given that. Or you also, I think you make a move like this if you got a year left on your deal, or if you've got a solid deal that goes out years, right? Other than that, you know what I mean? If you got a year left on your contract, or if you got a year left on your contract, obviously you do it. But I'm saying if you've got 2 years left on your contract, it's probably a deal you don't do. But what are you gonna do? Fire me? You got to pay me off for the next 5 years or whatever, right? Or if I've got 1 year left, but it's certainly short-sighted. There's no, it's short-sighted.
And it gets you where? Where does it get you?
Right.
Here's
are they better than they were last year? Okay. And that wasn't good enough.
They finished 5th in the East last season.
Correct.
And I know that Miles Turner you'd rather have Miles Turner than Brook Lopez. But statistically, last season, they were pretty similar.
Well, and here's
similar players.
Here's the other thing. They also don't have a Damian Lillard replacement.
So
did you hear who they checked in on? Scotty.
I just saw that.
Unsurprising.
Yeah.
Unsurprising that they would check in on him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because obviously you just got Ty Jerome.
Right.
Right? But I mean, they would probably make him the starter there.
Yes.
You can't have Kevin Porter Jr. starting or whoever the hell they got. I think he is
he is.
I think as of today.
Projected lineups would have Kevin Porter Jr. as the starting point guard.
So that's not happening.
Right. So that's my thing. It's if this is a move that gets you, I go to FanDuel right now, and it's they're projected to win the East. Okay, maybe. Yep. But it probably doesn't get you anywhere of significance. $20 million of dead money for 5 straight years. And oh, by the way, you're a Miles Turner injury away from Giannis raising his hand and asking for a trade anyway.
That's right.
What are you doing?
I mean, to stretch that out for 5 years, to have that on your books. Right. I mean, I heard Windhorst and them saying that's it's like Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
That's a contract.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass on Scotty to Milwaukee. They don't got anything I want.
I'd take Bobby P.
Yeah, but I don't think, can you do that?
No,
you can't do that. Yeah.
I'm just telling you. I mean,
that's it.
He's the only Milwaukee Buck. When we were going into the offseason, he was the one I wanted. And I wanted him in free agency. I just like guys that have won, vets, tough. He's that edge. Yeah. Memphis would friggin' love Bobby Portis.
He's from over there.
I know.
Yeah.
They would love his ass. Yeah. His googly eye. I mean, he don't ever question whether he'll fight.
Him. Yeah,
he broke his own teammate's face.
Sure, it'll end his career.
Literally. Broke the guy's face.
I would take a Bobby Portis. So what's interesting about this whole thing yesterday is people were down on Milwaukee, like, what are you doing? But people also down on Indiana, like, how do you not pay Miles Turner?
Right.
And if you're Tyrese Halliburton, are you sitting there like yelling right now? Like,
Oh yeah,
what-
for sure. I saw funniest. I saw this Pacers fan, and it was like it was like one of these dunk memes or whatever, and it was like 10% raise, and it was like Miles Turner, and then it was like jersey retirement, and it was the guy getting dunked on, whatever, and it's like, and the other thing is evidently the Pacers like have this rivalry and can't stand Milwaukee, so it's all a mess.
Like, think of it's sort of how quickly all this changes. 5 minutes before Game 7 of the NBA Finals, you could have reasonably said, regardless of what happens tonight, I think the Pacers are the favorite in the East next season. You could have reasonably said that.
Absolutely.
And then Tyrese ruptures his Achilles.
I mean,
Miles Turner's off to Milwaukee.
But look
and who
at
even knows what that's going to look like?
But honestly, like, you think about go look at the Celtics roster today.
Yeah.
Go look at it. It is crazy.
Yeah.
I saw they put up on ESPN their projected starting lineup, and it had Xavier Tillman and Anthony Simons in it. And I'm like, bro, what?
No. Like, you can do that with two different Eastern Conference franchises.
Maybe Luka Garza. They signed him. They signed Josh Minot.
5 minutes
Like, what
before
are the
Celtics-Knicks game where Jason Tatum goes down, you could reasonably say at that point, the Celtics are on their way to back-to-back championships.
They're certainly one of the favorites.
Yeah.
And they would be back, and even if they lost to the Knicks, which they may have, they'd be, the Knicks were kind of built to be able to deal with the Celtics. They would be one of the favorites next year. They probably would be installed as the favorite to win the Eastern Conference, regardless of what happened against the Knicks. Seriously. Like, I mean, all the analytics told us the Celtics were going to win. I mean, the Celtics were like minus 800 to win that series.
Right.
So, I mean, look at their roster right now. Luka Garza, Josh
So there's
Minot,
a point where the
Anthony
Celtics look like
Simons.
they'll be the favorite in the East. Now that is completely blown up.
Yeah.
There's a point where it looks like, okay, well, then the Pacers will be the favorite in the East. Completely blown up. And now it's like, I guess it's the Cavs, but maybe the Knicks. The Knicks don't even have a coach.
That's right.
What a weird... Eastern Conference is weird.
Knicks have done a good job, though, bro. They have done a good job. I like the Jordan Clarkson thing, and I mean they've added some players to that team without really giving anything up. They're not losing their guys, and then they've added guys.
And now it looks like it's going to be Mike Brown?
Yeah.
What's the consensus opinion on Mike Brown?
Mike Brown's a good coach.
That's what everybody says.
He's fine.
Yeah.
And he's also coached stars before. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's not one of those, like, I don't think you look at Mike Brown and go, he's going to move the needle great. I think he honestly, like, it's a different personality, but I don't think he's better than Tibbs.
Right.
You know what
He's
I'm
just
saying?
different.
Again,
He's just different, and that's what they wanted.
He's different than Tibbs.
Yeah,
right.
he's different, and that's what they wanted.
And also, like, he did a very good job when he had a roster in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
He's
I mean,
a
they hadn't
two-time
won
NBA
anything
Coach
in
of the
20
Year.
They hadn't won anything in 20 years.
Right.
He's a good coach.
And there was a video that surfaced from a practice. I don't know why this.
Yep.
You remember this?
I remember it.
I don't know why this sticks
Dog
with me.
cussing him?
Yeah.
Yep.
But that meant something to me.
Sure, and he's also really he would handle press conference very well there.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That is, and people can roll their eyes at that. That's part of the job in New York.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. It is part
That's
of the
why-
job being able to handle that pressure cooker that is being the Knicks head coach.
I had
because-
some friends there ask me about Taylor, and I was just like, Taylor's a really good basketball coach.
Right.
I don't know that part of it would work well.
Right.
I don't know how he would.
It's just like they saw through Fizdale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fizdale stuff works here, but I mean, it's like again, it's just it's a different market.
Yes.
It is a different market, and this guy has negotiated dealing with LeBron Cleveland. Right. He's dealt with he was the Warriors. He was Sacramento. I mean, he's built for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
makes
a
sense.
great press conference coach.
Yeah.
Great.
Weird path to get here, but
Yeah.
like they might have landed.
And
in
honestly,
an okay
like,
place.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Again, they could put you on the sidelines and they're going to win 45.
Right.
So,
right.
What's the max you can win? Right, 55.
Right. Right.
Probably.
Right. Right.
So I mean, I just don't think it would have mattered who they put on the sidelines. Somebody's going to win there as long as their guys are healthy. They got a good roster.
It's a good roster.
Good players.
Yeah. All right. That's Chris Vernon. He's going to be in the big studio in about, let's give it an hour and 7 minutes. He'll talk you through the Jaren Jackson Jr. turf toe injury.
Shut up, Bennett.
He just always has to.
I know. He's always got to get his final dig in before he leaves.
Just one last word always with that old big mouth. Just one last word always with old big mouth.
Yeah.
We come back. It was a scary scene last night. at the Target Center in Minneapolis.
Jaren won the only injury.
Oh, buddy. Red Panda went down. Red Panda went down. Appeared to suffer some sort of, let's just call it an arm injury, because the hand and the wrist are part of the arm. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Let's call it an arm injury then. Appeared to suffer some sort of arm injury. Could not complete her performance. Whew. It's tough to look at. I'm going to show it to you anyway. We'll do it right after this break.
It's time for our Pick Six, Mike. 6 classics that we're most looking forward to in the 2025 football season.
Las Vegas, obviously, that's the Grambling State University, Jackson State University clash. They're taking 2 iconic HBCU brands going to an NFL stadium in Las Vegas.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies at home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment, and they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience, collaborate with national and local artists, and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up and show out at Open Call Auditions. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, 1 exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Terrifying scene last night in downtown Minneapolis inside the Target Center. Red Panda, the great Red Panda, the legend Red Panda, was performing, as we've all seen her do for years, right here inside FedEx Forum and all over this great country, all over the world, all right? She is widely regarded as the greatest NBA halftime act of all time. Last night, she was at the Target Center for the WNBA's Commissioner Cup between the Lynx and the Fever. And Kyra, if you've got it ready, let's show folks what happened. I can't even watch it again. Jesus Christ, Bennett.
It was tough to see.
That's Red Panda on a unicycle. She takes bowls. She throws them. She stacks them. She does it, she estimates perfectly, about 80% of the time. And even when she doesn't execute it perfectly, that means a bowl might fall or something. She still completes her performance.
Pretty good. It used to be like perfect back in the day.
We all used to be perfect back in the day.
Yeah.
Time waits for nobody,
But she's still great.
Of course she is. But now she's injured. This isn't the first time this has ever happened to Red Panda. She has suffered a wrist injury before falling off of a unicycle, but last night's the latest time that it happened. People are asking, Bennett.
Is it time?
That's what people are asking. That's what the internet's asking. Is it time? She's in her mid-50s.
Man.
I know she doesn't look it, and I know it's not appropriate to discuss a woman's age, so I apologize in advance, but she is in her 50s. Mid. Is it time? Same thing people are asking about, we're going to get here with LeBron.
Yeah.
We're going to get here with LeBron. People are going to be asking the same questions about LeBron that they're now asking about Red Panda. We're headed there. What do we think?
I can't imagine an NBA without the Red Panda.
I don't want to imagine the NBA without Red Panda.
I mean, it's like been a staple of every season since I've been doing this.
She makes people happy.
She does. It's the music, too. That's a big thing.
It's great. Every bit of it.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
I love that when that music hits. Yeah, that would be sad if I didn't see Red Panda anymore at halftime shows. That would bum me out.
Do you know the story of Red Panda?
Mm-mm.
I didn't either until yesterday.
Okay.
I just decided I need to know more about this woman.
Mm-hmm.
She has a Wikipedia page.
Okay.
She's from China. She moved to the United States. And her first ever NBA performance, it was like an emergency thing for the Clippers.
Okay.
Their halftime performer canceled, and she was on a list of like, if you ever need her, call her. And they were like, today's the day.
Yeah. And
she abruptly showed up and performed at a Clippers game. And the rest, as they say, is history.
That's pretty cool. No, she's the GOAT. I also love Quick Change. Wanted to give them a shout out.
Quick Change, I don't even understand how that works.
How do they do that?
How do they do that?
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
No, that's like real magic.
You know what?
That's like real magic.
It is real magic. I'm glad you brought this up.
There's no tricks there.
If I'm being honest, and I know this is supposed to be about Red Panda, I'm not trying to make it not about Red Panda.
Yeah.
But if we're being honest, the
Red Panda's the GOAT.
Red Panda's the GOAT.
Yes.
But there is not the attention that Red Panda gets relative to the attention that Quick Change gets.
Yes.
The gap in real life is not that big.
That's correct. Quick Change is epic. I mean, that's
but
insane.
people don't love Quick Change like that.
I do.
I do too.
I am seated for Quick Change. Like, I ain't going to the restroom during Quick Change.
Quick Change is amazing.
Yeah, they're great.
How do they do that?
It's wild. I also like Christian and Scooby. I know Vernon's friends with them. I like Christian and Scooby.
I can't
too.
get my kids to put their shoes on within a 20-minute period. But Quick Change can do what they do.
Yeah.
How's that make sense?
It's wild. They're great. They are great.
This is supposed to be about Red Panda. I didn't mean to make it about Quick Change.
I had to give them a shout out, though.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Quick Change deserves more than what they get.
Yeah.
They deserve more than what they get.
Yes.
When will we see Red Panda again?
Hopefully this season.
I hope so.
Yeah, hopefully this season. I mean...
You know, she has taken a break from performing before.
Yeah.
Her father diagnosed with cancer.
I didn't know that.
Well, I would expect you to.
Yeah.
She took a break from performing. There was about a 2-year gap where you didn't see Red Panda in NBA arenas. You probably didn't even know. But she took a break to take care of her dying father. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Not everybody would do that.
Yeah, Red Panda's great, and I hope that this isn't the beginning of the end.
I hope it's not the beginning of the end. Yeah. But time waits for nobody, Bennett.
That's what they say.
That is what they say.
Yeah,
that was hard to watch last night. Get well soon, Red Panda. Get well soon, Red Panda.
Number 2.
In less important news, the Indiana Fever did win the WNBA's Commissioner Cup last night and didn't even need Caitlin Clark to do it. It was an upset in the Target Center. You were on the wrong side of it.
I know, man.
You laid a bunch of points.
Yeah.
And I thought at tip-off you were in a good place because you only laid like 8.5. By tip-off, it was like 10.5.
That's right.
The number went up.
Yeah.
Indiana Fever, they proved they're more than just a one-person team. Indiana Fever go into the Target Center, and they grabbed the Commissioner's Cup. Caitlin Clark caught in the locker room on camera on IG Live.
Shotgunning a beer.
And saying, oh, I bet the rest of the league is sick. They don't like the Indiana Fever. They have a correction. I messed up yesterday when I was talking about this stuff, All-Star voting, WNBA All-Star voting.
Yeah.
It made me mad because I don't like to just be wrong.
What'd you say?
While we were talking about the fan vote, the player voting, I said Caitlin was 9th in player voting for WNBA All-Stars.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just 9th among players. It was 9th among guards.
Right.
When I remember I was referencing the voting and I said, Asia Wilson, she's not on here. She's not listed in the voting. That's because she was part of the forward voting, the bigs voting. The guard voting was strictly guards, and Caitlin was 9th on that among players. First among fans, but 9th among players, and I think 3rd among media. And if you look at the voting for Aaliyah Boston, Indiana Fever teammate, she was also way lower than she should have been in the player voting, which suggests this isn't just Caitlin Clark haterade. It started there, sure, but now it has trickled into the entire Indiana Fever organization. The league don't like them. There's an anti-Fever.
It seems that way. Well,
sentiment.
I mean, you also had Sophie Cunningham completely shitting on the cities of Detroit and Cleveland yesterday. I don't think that helped.
I didn't like that.
I didn't love that either. Come on. It's as someone who waves the flag for Memphis, I was like, are you serious? Come on.
I bet if she could take that back, she would.
Hell yeah, she would. That came off awful.
It came off awful.
Yeah. And I'm a fan.
Yeah.
What,
everybody's a fan.
Yeah.
She's hot and she fights.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like that?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like that on the internet?
Right.
It's fun on the internet.
Yeah.
All right.
But she was off there.
Yeah, I think she was talking strictly in totally from her perspective while recognizing nothing else.
Yeah.
She was like, I'd like to go to Miami. Why wouldn't you just put a team in Miami?
Yeah, I want to go to Nashville. Right. Yeah.
Like you want to go to your bachelorette parties in Nashville and go to South Beach. She was like, I don't know why they don't put one in Destin. Right. I like Destin.
Right.
I don't know why they don't put one in. Where do you like to go? Heber Springs?
Hot Springs.
It'd be like like you advocating for a WNBA franchise in Hot Springs because you like to go to Hot Springs. That's what Sophie Cunningham was doing. She literally said, nobody want to go to Detroit. But I don't know why you wouldn't put one in Nashville or Miami, all the places that young white women want to go. That's what it sounded like. She should take that back if she could.
Yeah.
She'll subsequently apologize for that.
I'm sure she will.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Who cares?
Who cares, right? Or she'll fight somebody who says it. One of the two. She'll either apologize for it or fight somebody who says it.
Why am I growing?
Are you growing?
Yeah.
You went through the top of the screen? I don't know.
What is happening?
Who cares? Who cares?
That scared me.
Now you're back down.
Thanks.
I didn't notice.
That scared me for a second. I thought I was
Anyway,
losing
congratulations to the Indiana Fever. That's what I'm trying to say. And this Indiana Fever resentment that exists throughout the WNBA. And it clearly does. It does. There are people out there. There are people out there who love the Indiana Fever. And then there are people out there who hate the Indiana Fever. And it's largely got nothing to do with basketball. It's all sort of little subtweets.
Yeah.
It's all I think it's good for the league. Having this type of stuff is good for the league.
Yeah.
I think it's silly the way that the players have reacted and responded to the star power of Caitlin Clark. I think it's silly. But I think it can benefit the league. Broadly speaking, we're talking about the WNBA again.
Yeah, we are.
Every day we're talking about the WNBA. And it's not often about the results of games. It's about, did you see this? Did you hear that? Did you see this? Did you hear what she said? Did you see this press conference? Did you see this cheap shot? There's just a lot of stuff. I think it's good.
I think so too. And I also thought, I heard CJ and Devin talking about it this morning. That felt big last night. That felt like a big deal. I thought that was pretty cool. And hopefully it becomes the same with the in-season tournament with the NBA because that felt like a big. They treated that like a championship.
Yeah, you had a WNBA thing that happened and people paid attention to it.
Yep.
And it felt like a big deal. And it didn't require Caitlin Clark to play. It probably required Caitlin Clark just existing, but it didn't. This is happening. This is becoming a real thing that people pay attention to. even more so this year than last year, for reasons that aren't entirely Caitlin Clark. She's the engine that drives all of this, but there's just interesting stuff happening throughout the league. And last night was another good example of it.
Number 3.
Jurassic World Rebirth is in theaters.
Let's go.
It's a summer blockbuster. I even asked Grok earlier today as I was sitting on the interstate.
Yeah.
It took me an hour and a half to get to work today.
I'm surprised that you picked it. I mean, my 2 that I sent you today were this and the Black Sabbath final concert in Birmingham this weekend.
I just didn't know what I'd say about Black Sabbath.
I mean, rest in peace.
Rest in
to
peace
one of
to
the
Black Sabbath.
greatest rock bands of all time. The inventors of heavy metal.
Well,
Don't. Actually, I'm glad we didn't bring it up because I don't want you to get me triggered right now.
I would
Don't
argue.
disparage Black Sabbath.
I would
Do not.
argue the first heavy metal song. This is what I would argue. You ready for this?
But that Steppenwolf song?
No. I would argue the first heavy metal song is actually Helter Skelter by the Beatles.
I love that song and album.
What are you going to do with that?
It's definitely like a heavy song that the Beatles wrote, for sure. I can't argue with that. As far as like the genre,
I respect Black Sabbath. I'm not trying to pretend I don't respect Black Sabbath.
I'm gonna watch. It's live streamed, by the way. You can watch it for free.
Is it for real this weekend?
Yeah. It's their final show. I mean, dude, I don't even know if Ozzy can stand up and do the show. Like
That's I don't want to see that. We've talked about this before, whether it's about Bob Dylan or Willie Nelson. I don't want to see it. I like remembering Ozzy Osbourne eating bat heads. You know?
Yeah.
Urinating in public. I don't need to see a crippled old man trying to.
I don't think he's crippled. I just don't think he can walk.
I don't even
very
think you're
good
allowed
anymore.
to say crippled
Yeah, I don't
anymore.
think that's part of our vocabulary these days.
I'm sorry for saying crippled. I'm sorry for saying crippled.
That's okay.
All right.
I can't keep up.
I was born in the 70s.
Yeah,
Every once in a while I'm going to slip up.
Right,
Every once in a while I'm going to slip up. If the worst thing I ever say is that word, we're going to be okay. All right? I don't need to see Ozzy Osbourne in this thing. I don't think.
Oh, I do. My biggest regret is not seeing them on their final tour.
That's your biggest regret.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite bands. Like I wish I would have went to that.
I have bigger regrets than not seeing Black Sabbath. But I've never seen Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath.
I've seen Ozzy. I saw Ozzy at the Pyramid. It was awesome.
When would that have happened?
It was the Merry Mayhem tour. It was early. It was either like 99, 2000, something like that.
Seems like that's something I would have done.
Yeah, it was Ozzy, Rob Zombie. They were like co-headliners. It was awesome, man.
Okay.
It was Ozzy came down. He came from like the top of the pyramid down in like a Christmas sleigh, like the Santa sleigh. It was awesome. Yeah.
And then where they really took it to another level was with that reality show.
Oh yeah, then the Osbournes
that took him to another place completely.
I met him one time.
You met Ozzy Osbourne. How was he?
He was a pleasant man. Yeah.
Was he pleasant?
It was when him and Jack Osbourne were doing that show that I think it only lasted like a season on the History Channel, where they went to different landmarks around the U.S. and they came here and went to like Sun Studio and Stax, and they came to Rock and Soul. They came to Rock and Soul and toured it. And I got to meet him.
Well,
yeah, it was cool.
Okay.
Yeah, he autographed some stuff for me.
I'm pro Ozzy Osbourne in general. I just don't need to see I don't like to see it. It's not that I don't need to. It's just I'm uncomfortable seeing
I got
people in diminished states. I just don't like seeing people. I like remembering people at their best.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with seeing people in their diminished states.
Fair enough.
All right. But maybe I'll stream Black Sabbath this weekend. Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yes, we're reborn. I'm very excited about this.
This is the seventh Jurassic Park movie.
Yep.
It is a summer blockbuster.
Without question.
I asked Grok this morning while I was sitting on the interstate.
Stop asking Grok so much stuff.
I can't help it.
You need like I need you to limit it to like one Grok a day, dude.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
Things pop into my head and I have to ask Grok. I'm addicted to asking Grok stuff.
Yeah.
So I was sitting on the interstate because there was a wreck. Oh, buddy. By the way, don't ever think you're smarter than your car. It's 2025. You do not know more than your car. My car told me to get off of the interstate. It said, get off. It said, GP, you have told us to tell you if you can save 5 minutes going a different route to tell you. That is what we're doing. get off, go towards St. Louis, get off at 3rd Street, come to FedEx Forum that way. Don't stay on your normal path. And I was like, but it looks fine.
I'm good.
It looks fine. I'm good. My car knew things I didn't know. There was a bad wreck out of my vision, but about a mile away. And oh, buddy, I sat there for like, it really took me an hour and a half to get to work today. While I was sitting there, I got your text about Jurassic World Rebirth. And I asked Grok, I said, Grok, is this a summer blockbuster? And you know what it said?
Absolutely.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it said. Absolutely it is. And it's going to be great for family outings.
I'm taking my 6-year-old, which seems a little, I mean, it's
We're gonna
PG-13.
go. We will do a family.
But we're going.
We're going to do this.
I think Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, that's one of those movies, because I remember seeing it when I was a kid in theaters, the first one. So I think that's one of those, you know, you're not supposed to take the little ones at PG-13. I'm taking them. It just is what it is.
I have memories of when Oliver, who's now 11, was very young. We wouldn't watch the whole movies. We would literally go to YouTube
and find the clips
and
of
just
like the
watch
T-Rex
the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, dinosaur, like the clips of just the action scenes of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
We just watch those.
Yeah.
We had fun watching those.
Yeah, so the first one is obviously a classic, one of the greatest movies ever, one of the greatest summer blockbusters ever. The second one I think is amazing too, The Lost World. Doesn't get enough love. And then it kind of went. I liked when they rebooted with Jurassic World. I thought that first Jurassic World was good with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard.
And this is Scarlett Johansson.
This is Scarlett Jo. This is Rebirth, buddy. We're reborn, new cast, new dinosaurs. We're reborn, and I'm excited about it. I love the director, Gareth Edwards. I think this one's got some potential. I love the Jurassic Park movies.
We're going.
Yeah.
We're going to do this family outing.
Good. We're going to do it too. We're going to try to go see it tomorrow.
I'm fired up.
Let's go.
All right. Shouts to Jurassic World Rebirth.
Number 4.
The Detroit News published a story last night looking into the Malik Beasley investigation. He's now on their investigation for illegally gambling on NBA games.
Man, I read that story too.
Oh, it don't look good.
No.
He's in
deep, it appears, allegedly.
Yeah, I won't bore you with all the details, but just he owed a lot of people money. Like they were garnishing his paychecks. They were garnishing, like his paycheck from an NBA franchise was being garnished. And it was like he owed millions of dollars to people. And this is how you get sucked into these things. Somebody says, it's just still crazy to me because he's on the verge of signing like a $40 million contract.
Man.
Like when you are him and you just owe, let's just put a number. Let's say he owes $5 million. It's never great to owe $5 million to somebody, I don't guess, right? But you're about to sign for 40.
Right.
What are you doing? He was taking out loans. It's almost like there are actually businesses out there, and the whole business is just loaning professional athletes money with high interest rates. It's like predatory lending. It's no different than like on the corner in every bad part of town in any town. There's like, we'll cash your paycheck or paycheck advance. Or
right.
Although it's like that, but for NBA players. So like, hey, you need $700,000 cash today? We can get that to you. It's one of those. Like if you're just a normal person, you can go to the corner place and get like, $500 advanced. But for NBA players, this same type of place exists. They'll give you $700,000, like 17% interest, whatever, So he was taking out loans on those things. Just bad. And it seems pretty clear, like he's caught up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's video, at least suspicious videos out there. Everybody's seen the one where
in the bubble,
the number's 8.5.
Insane. Yeah.
He looks nervous.
And
then he races down the court.
Yeah.
In ways that
you can tell everyone just stops playing.
Everybody's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And he's covering the number.
Yeah.
There is like a push to get rid of, and that specific incident would have been like the big games. You ain't changing that. Like we're not going to stop betting on games because Malik Beasley might have been compromised. But the prop bets on players, there's a real push now, like
to get rid of that
because those can easily be manipulated. Like if it's Malik Beasley over under rebounds 3.5, this is literally all you have to do. Yeah, I bet the under, however much.
Yep.
I'm in the game. oh, my hamstring. I'm out of the game.
And I heard
and now you cash that ticket under 3.5.
And I heard them talking about it yesterday, and that's how they catch these guys. It's
irregular betting patterns.
Why is everyone betting on Malik Beasley over rebounds?
That's exactly right.
Right.
That's how they catch them. You hear about these college baseball scandals. Like a college baseball coach had to resign, I think it was last year. And once they started investigating, they found out he was delivering information to somebody who was betting.
Yeah.
But why did they even start looking? Because it was like, why is everybody betting on this baseball game at this sports book? This is not normal. And it just flags it. And then they go, okay, we need to look at this. They start looking at it, and then they trace it right back to where it's going. All of these investigations do not lead to charges or convictions or punishments. Terry Rozier still, to this day, I don't think has been punished. And there's some reporting that suggests he's been cleared, although I don't know that that's been officially announced. But this one looks bad. And the Detroit News has all of this evidence that suggests he was in a bad financial situation. And the big boogeyman that everybody always said was, you bring gambling into the mainstream. Yes, these players make a lot of money, but some of them don't take care of their money. And some of them are going to end up where they need money, and that's how you get to them.
Yep.
And it appears, emphasis on the word appears, but it appears that's where we are with Malik Beasley. And now, but if you thought you had financial problems before, the Pistons have taken that $42 million contract offer that was like ready to be agreed to at 5:01 yesterday, 2 days ago. That's off the table now. Like, he might have not only cost himself his career, but like quite literally his financial well-being is all gone now if he never signs an NBA contract again, which, based on where we're at right now, seems more likely than not.
Number 5.
Paul Finebaum made a headline yesterday. Said Arch Manning will be the best quarterback college football has seen since Tim Tebow burst onto the scene. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, I know there's a lot of hype. I don't think it's the best since Tim Tebow, because obviously we had Cam Newton.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow. Oh, yeah.
Here's my thing with Arch Manning, and we won't have to spend much time on it, but I heard Steve Spurrier make this point. And Steve Spurrier is like the best at saying just something off the cuff that sounds like it's just but like there's some real stuff in there. He's very good at it. Has always been great at it.
Yes.
And he did this with Arch Manning a couple weeks ago. You know what he said? If he's so good, why was he sitting behind a 7th-round draft pick last season? I think
it's totally fair.
It's a totally reasonable question. Why were you, if you're so good, why were you sitting behind this guy for 2 years? He might be great. I have no opinion about how great Arch Manning might be, but saying he's going to be better than Cam Newton and Joe Burrow seems like an incredibly high bar to set, particularly for a guy who couldn't play in front of a 7th-round draft pick, 6th-round draft pick, whatever it was, last season. I understand that.
Yeah, I am. I will say I'm really looking forward to watching him play, because it feels like we've been talking about him forever.
Yeah, no, it'll be one of the biggest stories in college football.
Right.
Like, here is Arch. It's his team. Let's go. I mean, he's played, but he hasn't been the guy.
He hasn't been the guy. Right.
Now he's the guy. And, buddy, the bar is set pretty high. I mean, you got to be better than everybody who's played that position in college football since Tim Tebow to meet the standard that Paul Finebaum suggested yesterday. I'd bet against it, just because it seems like that's the smart bet. But I don't know. Interesting.
We'll see.
Interesting headline coming from the voice of the SEC, the legendary Paul Finebaum. Be back with GP's Carryout.
What can the Memphis Grizzlies learn from the Thunder Pacers NBA Finals Series?
Your style of play is not something that you really have to change. Both of these teams love to play fast. Both of these teams love to play really aggressively on the defensive side of the ball.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Creed by IO for Wellington Mad. The Summer of 99 Tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of 99 Tour.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Get to the main event. And you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, we want truth.
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, we want truth. You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes the knee off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Show presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but we mostly focused on the big headline from last night, delivered by @GrizzliesPR. Jaren Jackson Jr. suffered a turf toe injury that is going to require surgery. The update from DeMichael Cole, commercial appeal. Jaren Jackson Jr. has undergone surgery, is expected to make a full recovery, and will be reevaluated in 12 weeks. 12 weeks from today, Bennett, is September 24th.
Okay, so we're like, let's start a training camp, pretty much. Yeah.
So we'll look at it again September 24th.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
That's positive. I mean, again, that's just reevaluation. That's not, he'll be ready to go, but.
That just means we're going to look at it again.
Yeah.
Don't ask us any more questions for 12 weeks. And when September 24th gets here, we're going to call Jaren and be like, hey, let's take a look at this
thing.
Let's look at this thing.
Okay.
And then we'll let you know how everything's going then. So don't expect any official updates till September 24th. I guess that's the number.
Okay.
All right.
What's today's biggest game?
Bennett, I'm going to let you want to go Major League Baseball, you want to go WNBA?
I want to go.
Let's go Major League Baseball.
Yeah, you pick.
Let's go with a game we can all access.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
We had WNBA Commissioner Cup on Prime Video last night. Tonight at 6:07, it's the Yankees and the Blue Jays. We're going to do it from the Rogers Center in Toronto. The Yankees are going with Will Warren. The Yankees have the Blue Jays have Jose Barrios. 6:07 first pitch, Rogers Center. Yankees minus 125, Toronto plus 105. How are you going to act?
I mean, Yankees got to get one of these. I'll go Yankees. They lost the first two.
These New York baseball teams are struggling,
right?
Yeah.
I think I'll just go. Baseball's so it's hard. Like, it's hard to do this with the baseball.
Rain Man used to say he'd build his war chest up during baseball season. I have never found that to be beneficial.
The way that I tend to usually look at it as, I will go, like, if it's during the middle of a series, if Whoever won like the first couple games, I'm gonna pick the other team.
Bennett said he's taking the
Nobody
Yankees.
ever sweeps. Nobody ever sweeps these series.
Bennett says he doesn't believe in sweeps. He's taking the Yankees. First pitch, 6:07. Yankees minus 125.
What are we watching on TV?
I guess Adolescence. Vernon told us about Adolescence.
He did.
The chat seems to like it.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I'm going to check it out.
I'll check it out. I'm going to go see Jurassic World Rebirth.
You're going to do that today?
Tomorrow. Probably not today.
Okay.
Maybe today. Maybe today.
I don't mean to complicate your schedule.
Yeah.
Man. I don't want to put pressure on you. You can go see Jurassic World Rebirth whenever you want.
I want to see it today because I get FOMO about these things.
I don't want to put pressure on you. You can go see it whenever you want.
I want to see it. I like seeing it before everyone else so I can tell everybody what it's like.
I want to go see it before you.
See, that'll piss me off.
I
Like
know.
that, I don't know. My wife is like, you're an idiot.
I'm gonna
Like
see it right
something's
now.
wrong with you. But it really is a thing. I get FOMO about movie premieres, man. I want to see it before everybody.
All right. Here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Or at some point over the next couple days.
Yeah.
We are going to both watch Adolescence and Jurassic World Rebirth in a to be determined order.
Yeah.
That's our promise. That's our promise. All right. But for now, what are we watching on TV? Adolescence.
Okay.
It comes Vernon recommended.
Yeah, we'll do it because I ain't feeling the Bear.
You don't like the Bear?
It's been okay. It's been okay. I like the show. This season's not. I'm not. Every season there's been an episode that has just punched me in the gut, and I'm like, man, this is the best show. And this season I'm not getting it yet.
I do not like that they drop all the episodes at the same time.
I don't either.
I hate it.
I don't like that either.
I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I just give me 1 week. Give me one a week.
Yeah.
Give me one a week. Give me something to get excited about. I don't like you just dumping a whole thing on me. I don't like it.
I don't either.
All right. We're watching Adolescence, though.
Okay.
Right.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, over at CBSSports.com right now on the homepage, interesting piece on the Milwaukee Bucks and how they still have work to do to fill in the roster around Giannis Antetokounmpo. So that was the blockbuster news headline in the NBA yesterday. If you want to know where the Bucks are going from here after stretching Damian Lillard's $113 million contract over 5 years, you can read it right now. Homepage, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow we're going to take a day off, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Do you mind?
I'd love to.
Okay, let's take tomorrow off.
Okay.
Let's take Friday off to celebrate July 4th. And let's recognize that we're not going to be back in the studio doing this until Monday. But before we even get to Monday, we're going to have Grit Summer League.
You're damn right we are.
On grindcitymedia.com.
Let's go.
Grit Summer League.
Download the app, hop in the chat. I'll be there. Let's watch together.
Let's watch it together. Grizzly, it's here. Will Cedric Coward play? You'll have to tune in to find out.
Yep.
You'll have to tune in to find out.
You're not going to know.
You're not going to know.
You're not going to know until tip-off, so you better be there.
You better be there, or you'll just go through life ignorant.
Yep.
Do you want to go through life ignorant, or do you want to know whether Cedric Coward, the 11th pick of the 2025 NBA draft, is playing in Summer League? Only one way to find out. grindcitymedia.com. Enjoy your holiday weekend. I'm going to try to enjoy mine. Let's meet back here Monday at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.